Hello, everyone. I'm Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the Strategy Room. Hillary Clinton widened her lead over Democratic rival Bernie Sanders last night, winning primary contests in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, and Delaware. Senator Sanders took Rhode Island, but Mrs. Clinton is now setting her sights on the Republicans and frontrunner Donald Trump. Joining us now from D.C. are Democratic strategist Joe Listingi and Republican strategist Ron Bonjean. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Mrs. Clinton was quick to point out her lead in the Democratic race this week in an interview on MSNBC. But, Joe, could these sorts of declarations hurt her with Sanders supporters, who she does need on her side in the general?
I don't think they will so much. I mean, it's been pretty obvious since New York that this is where we're headed. As Democrats, we are happy with both of our nominees, and there will be this sort of healing and unity at the convention, which is the same thing that occurred in 2008. We had a whole bunch of angry Hillary voters in 2008 that claimed they weren't going to support Barack, but then they did come around. I think we're going to see the same thing this year. The convention will be a great opportunity for them to come together. Bernie changed the debate for this campaign. He really pushed a good agenda for liberals and progressives to start thinking and talking about. Hillary is starting to talk a little bit more about those issues, and we're not so scared of our progressive values anymore, and Bernie did a good job doing that. So I think moving forward, that she's going to look good going into these last states. She is going to be the nominee, and we're all really proud of that.
All right, well, Sanders is vowing to stay in this race, at least through the California primary, possibly until the convention. The Clinton campaign is now reportedly urging Sanders to focus on the issues rather than attacking Clinton on her ties to Wall Street and other presumed weaknesses that could possibly help Republicans. So, Ron, do you think that Sanders will listen to the Clinton camp and change his tone regarding her?
Yeah, probably not. I think Sanders is, although Sanders took it on the chin last night big time, he's going to remain a burr in a Hillary Clinton saddle probably until the convention, unless they come to some sort of arrangement, which right now we all don't necessarily see that happening. He has made it this far because he's talked about what he wants to talk about, these populist issues and the anger that he's been able to harness from Democrats across the country. And so I think that Donald Trump will actually have a play for these supporters of Bernie Sanders going into the general election, because these people feel left out, and if Donald Trump can harness that anger, Hillary Clinton has a problem.
Well, meanwhile, Mrs. Clinton is facing a lot of pressure now regarding her use of the private email server while she was Secretary of State. The conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch announced this week that the State Department withheld a vital email for 2 years that could have exposed the existence of her private server before she wiped it. That email was sent 2 weeks after the 2012 Benghazi attack. It discussed talking points for a call with senators about that attack, which of course killed 4 Americans. The State Department says the withholding of the email was an administrative error. Joe, how are these revelations going to affect her campaign?
To be honest with you, it's been a long time since we've talked about the emails and we've talked about Benghazi, and now that she's the nominee, it looks like it's breaking into the stories again. This has run its course. We've seen hearings, we've seen more hearings, and nothing has come of this. I think the State Department here has some questions to answer, which they will in time, and this is going to run its course again, and it's going to go away, and Republicans will continue to drum it up again to be a story, but there's just nothing there, and the reason why I know nothing is there is because we've been at this for years, and there's just been no substance coming out of this. She didn't break any laws. There is no prosecution going on. There are investigations, but they have not turned up anything yet, and I think everyone deserves the right to a speedy investigation as well as a trial. But there's none of that going on. I think this is smoke and mirrors. Congratulations. Let's cover up Donald Trump so that conservatives are coming out with their stuff. There's not.
All right, well, Judicial Watch says otherwise. They say, quote, now we know the Obama administration consciously refused to give up key information about Hillary Clinton's email in 2014. This cover-up provided Hillary Clinton enough time to hide potentially thousands of government records. In fact, 30,000 emails deleted. Ron, do you believe this is significant?
Well, sure. I mean, look, where there's smoke, there's fire, and the problem here is Republicans aren't driving this story. Hillary Clinton and her actions have driven this story. The State Department has driven this story. And what's continuing to drive this story is that there is a FBI investigation with a lot of FBI agents looking into it. And I think it will run its course when they come to a conclusion, whether or not she will be indicted. If she is indicted, that would be a very difficult thing to overcome before an election. To have a general, it would be unheard of, unprecedented to have a Democratic candidate, presidential candidate, actually indicted. And I think that's a very dangerous situation. I think the Clinton people would like it to go away, and I think they would very much like for everyone to believe that it's the Republicans' fault. But it's actually Hillary Clinton's herself.
It's a conservative group that's pushing this, though.
That's why it bothers you so much, Joe. It bothers you guys so much.
There are no charges, and there have been countless investigations, and nothing has come up with anything.
All right, we're going to be hearing more about this, I'm sure. Ron, Joe, thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
And for complete coverage of the 2016 presidential election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.